What's up, man? It's your boy WesWithTheBeard here with my podcast, The Sideline. Most of you know me from doing a sports show called The Sideline, obviously, where we talk about sports, fashion, and other things. But now, because hip-hop and sports are so synonymous, I want to introduce you guys to one of my friends straight out of Austin, Texas, my man, Philip Banks.
Ain't nothing to a party, nigga. Thick cloud click full of ball molly niggas. Only smoking on the bed. Try to pass that straight to get a motherfucker look like you retarded, nigga. That's all dead game. Atari, nigga. You need to stack your chain. Little sorry, nigga. I stay smoking on that body, yodi double listen, smell it from a distance.
What's up, man? I'm glad to have you here today, man.
I'm glad you invited me. I get on the couch, man.
Yeah, you made it to the couch, to the white couch. You know, we don't care, though. Shoes on the couch.
What's your couch?
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm out here. I'm comfortable. I should have told him we was going to be outside today, so I'm in my Jordans. My man got his, you know, my man Phil out here in his wingtips and slacks, which is funny because my man's got, you know, he's got some content out there called wingtips and slacks. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, man, I just want to, like I said, introduce my man Philip Banks. Philip Banks, straight from Austin. You know, I'm glad to have you here today. I mean, I just want to bring you in, ask you a couple things, man, because I met you. I started listening to your music. Me and some of my homies really vibe to your music. And so I just like, it's funny because every night I go to sleep and I'm watching TV and I watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what I'm saying? Bel-Air, I love Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this man's name is Philip Banks.
Right.
So you got to tell me, man, like, where does that come from? Because you just got the name and y'all are complete opposites because, you know, Uncle Phil was really, really big. You was a smaller guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But where does it come from? Like, where do you get that name, Philip Banks, to be, you know, that's one of the most infamous TV dads ever, man. Like, how'd you come up with that, man? Was there something before Philip Banks?
Right, but there was something before Philip Banks. Before I became Philip Banks, it was LS the Best. If y'all go on my old YouTube, LS the Best, D.A. Best. You'll see a lot of old poetry and stuff like that. But Philip Banks really came from, shout out to my kinfolk, Donnie Cash, you know what I'm saying? Because he really dubbed me the name because all my closest people, you know what I'm saying, call me Uncle Phil.
Okay.
You feel me? So that already came from the Fresh Prince. So when everybody coming over, dap me, hey, Uncle Phil, you know what I'm saying? Especially my people from the shop, they're like, Uncle Phil, what's the deal? When they see me and they see, you know what I'm saying? And he kept on hearing that all the time. He was like, bro, why don't you just go by Philip Banks? So when I when I dubbed the name, it was like, all right, cool, I can do that, you know? So that's just how the name came about. And so it just so happened that's Fresh Prince, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Uncle Phil, you feel me?
Yes, sir,
You know what I'm
R.I.P.
saying? Like, he was a father figure for people like us who didn't have a father figure. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm honored to actually run with the name.
I mean, I can respect that. You said LS.
Right.
What does LS mean? Like, what is LS? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of rappers go, you know, you got Weezy, you got Weezy Baby, you got Lil Wayne. So I know it's kind of like a transition, 2 Chainz from 2 Chainz and Titty Boy to 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what was LS and like, what made you change to Uncle Phil? I mean, I know you said your homeboy had a lot of influence on it because they used to call you Uncle Phil.
Right.
You know, from the time I've spent with you, I know you're wise beyond your years.
Right.
But what was LS and like, you know, ultimately, do you feel that change had to come to become Uncle Phil or Philip Banks?
Right. I mean, with anything, like, you have to see everything. Things have to change over time.
Okay.
Like, when I became LS, that's because I was in the Army and I felt like I was a lost soldier in the Army because, you know what I'm saying, I was starting to become conscious while I was serving in the military.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? After that, when I got out, people, if you catch my Wingtips and Slacks project, you'll see it under original Phil. I was just going as Phil, but all my people was calling me OP, a select group. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I felt like I was too as well with my style and my clothing, my attire. I was growing. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, it became Philip Banks instead of just LS the Best or original Phil. Bam, Philip Banks came into fruition, and it's been going ever since.
Okay, I can dig that. It makes perfect sense. So let me ask this. I mean, being from Austin, you know what I'm saying? I've been here, you know, 3 years. I'm going on 3 years here. You know, I'm a North Carolina kid. You know, we're considered the gentleman South. You know, obviously this is deeper South than North Carolina, but you know, obviously we get different influences. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from, you know, Dreamville, USA. Shout out to Fayetteville, North Carolina. My man J. Cole out here doing big things. My man Eric Lottery out of North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? My man the Baby Jesus out of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
Go get you a jambalaya ticket.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you ain't been to Jambalaya, you need to hit that up next year because it's definitely worth it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, being from Texas, man, y'all got so much rich tradition, man. And just being down here and hearing the different sounds. Like, who's that one person, if you could name one, that just influenced your style, or did you just wake up one morning on some, man, I'm Philip Banks, nigga, like, or how did that come about?
Like, I can't say there's one person that influenced my style because like I had to give you a whole list. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like one person that just like I want to be like this person if I ever make it. You know what I'm saying? My goal was the people that I acknowledged or I felt like was doing my ears justice to make me even want to write or make me smile. My goal is to actually meet them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So when it came to that, like growing up, I was listening to nothing but Texas music because that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So it started after I got from under my mother's music, which was OJ's, Temptations, and Shot Lights and all that.
Old school, like that vacuum music. That's what I call that vacuum music. Mom in there cleaning, early Saturday, Sunday. Get your ass up. That Marvin Gaye blasting in the background at OJ's.
But when my brother started picking me up and I started riding, like I started listening to UGK, Street Military, Pharaoh, Zero, the whole SUC, because DJ Screw really put Texas on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? From there it was Wreck Shop, then Charlie Boy from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the list goes on and on, but some of my top favorite artists here in Houston that I feel like what probably has influenced me is Pimp C, Bun B,
Rest in peace, Pimp.
Rest in Peace, Pimp, Zero, Chameleon, and Killer Calion, just for starters, you know what I'm saying? I can't, and Hope, Rest in Peace, Hope, as well as Trey, you know what I'm saying? Trey the Truth, like, woo. But I go on and on about music, but outside of Houston, it was more cats like Outkast, Lupe Fiasco, you got your J. Cole, you got, you know what I'm saying, your Erykah Badu, you got, she a Dallas cat, you know what I'm saying, but like
it's Texas though. It's just like
right.
I see where you're going. It's just like, you know, it's just like a big old melting pot full of Texas, and then out came Phil. And I respect that because if you can't get your inspiration from right in your backyard, then maybe somebody not doing something right. But I respect that because.
But I rock with the East Coast too. You know what I'm saying? The West and the East, like to this day, the people that can still make me smile when they spitting is like Jadakiss and Fabulous.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Or I'll probably go to the West and hear some of them Game mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? That Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Because you know Game, you're a beast on the mixtapes. Yeah.
I'm high on the rap ass, the moment that pass gas. Coughing up a lung got me sounding like Aflac. Someone spoke up in the room, you in need of a hazmat. You ain't put it on the bag, my nigga so bad. Circle like a ritual, pattern in the physical. Sliders in the room, you would think it was a visual. Only get you fit to make you forget what you finna do. Move it till the sound down, hit it with the negative. Some of the be tight, some of the be bugged up. All my fruit can burn, get the smoke it sucked up. Reaper when you mix it, happy nigga blaze it. I don't know about you, but I feel amazing. Young on that ready now, I get it by the fragrance. Rolling up the Sunday time, blowing like a Haitian. Working all the time, we ain't only on occasion. Sticky in the eye, they ain't only for the Haitian. Smoking by the sumo, out of space Pluto. Everything
style, man. That brings me to my next question, because you get a lot of influences from a lot of different places. So, as far as style in today's hip hop, you know, you got rappers just skinny jeans, or you know, some of them are still wearing baggy jeans. A lot of designer, a lot of diamonds, you know, things like that. But you, Philip Banks, the hip-hop artist, non-traditional style, comes through on a different approach with the really clean three-piece look, and like you said, the wingtips and the slacks. Not just talk about it, you're really living it. We're out here, it's 90 degrees, it's hot as shit, and my man's out here in a button-up, a bow tie, and some wingtips. Yeah. So tell me where that comes from, because like it's not conventional rap garb, if you would say.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it really came from reinventing myself. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, like when I was growing up back home, I was just, I didn't know nothing of fashion. You know what I'm saying? I was wearing the white tees, Timbo, shorts, baggy clothes, tall tees, you know what I'm saying? Forces, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I really looked like the typical person you saw on the block until I had a realization, like, if I'm gonna keep dressing like everybody else do on the block, I'm gonna keep getting hemmed up like everybody else on the block. So how about I switch it over to collar shirts, some, you know what I'm saying, nice little loafers or whatnot. And when I got to college, like I was really able to reinvent myself because I was able to pull and pick and pull from different situations and different looks, especially because I'm a fan of old mob movies when they used to dress up as suits and boots, but they were really gangsters like mobsters. You know what I'm saying? Like Lucky Luciano and Big Bugsy Siegel and all that. So like I really grabbed my attire from there. But the way to put it together, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homegirl, Asha Ransom, you know what I'm saying? Ransom Dix just got there in Oakland, California, Thread Life, you know what I'm saying? She really taught me how to put the colors together. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? Coming up from there to that, and everybody know I like wearing suits and ties, and graduating in business school, it just came as a norm.
So you treat it like a business. So for those of you out there that are hustling, man, he just drops you a little jewel. He's like, man, dress up because the cop's not coming after you first. But if there's an alternative to hustling, go ahead and do that. But
Right.
if you don't have one, dress up, wingtip, slacks, do what you got to do, and you probably won't be the first one to get picked up when shit goes down. But with that being said, the first thing that comes to my mind, man, is Janelle Monáe, because she's dressed up all the time, man. She still does the bow tie thing. She's always got ascots, cummerbunds. She's got a real crazy style, but she's always super dressed up from toe to head to toe, whatever you say, wherever
I kind of
you're
hate
from.
that I missed her coming to Houston.
Oh, man, look, it's a beautiful woman, a beautiful art form, man. She's just so, like, her style is great. And that's what I think about with you, because she does it for a reason, and her reason is because she didn't have much, so she wants to make sure that she can present herself in the best way possible. And it sounds like, you know, coming from where you came from, living on both sides of the tracks, you wanted to do the same thing. You saw one side, so you were like, man, I'm going to take this art form, and I'm going to go ahead and transform myself and invent Phillip Banks, the smooth, debonair rapper, to try to be somebody in his own lane. And I can respect that. And speaking of own lanes, I need to know when the hell Phil gonna put out an album so he can get driving in one of these lanes out here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, because like you said, one of these lanes, I act, I do modeling, but also I already got 2 projects out there on that pip. Wingtips and Slacks, my first mixtape, and Taylor Made, the second mixtape. If you go on I Am Phillip Banks, look for those 2 mixtapes, you will find them. As far as dropping projects in the future, I'm looking to drop 2 projects this summer, which is Chemo Sabi, the EP, and Wingtips and Slacks, the Volume 2 mixtape. You know what I'm saying? So I got Parking Lot Pimpin' on my SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud, I Am Phillip Banks. You'll be able to listen to my Parking Lot Pimpin'. And that's only for stream only. Go on iTunes if you want to purchase the track. You know what I'm saying? And for the any other features and stuff like that that's coming up, that's gonna come as they come. But for right now, look for Parking Lot Pimpin' on my SoundCloud. Look for Wingtips and Slacks and Taylor Made on that pip. Also go on YouTube, I Am Phillip Banks. Catch out my latest 2 videos, which is Phillip Banks and So High. You know what I'm saying? And after that, you're gonna get more. Man, I'll probably do the Cardi B and drop 3 projects in 6 months, man.
Look, dude, he's out here like a Swiss Army knife. He does it all, man. He out here dressing up, you know what I'm saying? My man out here rapping, acting, singing, you know what I'm saying? Slanging, banging. He doing it all, you know what I'm saying? Like, Phil's out, he's hustling. He's legal hustling, man. So he's got his hand in a lot of things, but one thing that you can bet on is that man out here about to put out some projects. It's gonna be some heat this summer. So like he said, man, go check him out on that piff. You know what I'm saying? I Am Phillip Banks. He got 2 projects on there, and I'll be the first one to tell you that project coming out real soon, Parking Lot Pimpin'. It's got a little bit of that old school 80s, 90s era. Pull up in the parking lot, take your chick feel, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make you want to pull up in the park on a Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Under the shade with some lemonade. I'm just telling you, baby.
Under the shade with some lemonade. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's not even my thing. That's his lane, ladies and gentlemen. But I just, you know, hey, Phil, man, I just want to thank you for coming through, man. Let me help you out the couch, because, you know, we ain't got no insurance, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, just be on the lookout for my man Phillip Banks coming really soon, man. Parking Lot Pimpin'. I'm your boy, WesWithTheBeard. This is your podcast, The Sideline Sports Variety Show. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of hip-hop, not a bit of sports, man. I'm out.
Pimpin', parking lot, 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 pimpin'. Recognize the pimpin', pulling bitches out the pivot. Once he recognize the glisten, I can pull up from a distance. If you try to touch the skin, come down to prove it in an instant. Matter of fact, I caught the vision. Hold up, wait a minute.